to our regular council meeting and the month of November. I'm looking for, let's see, Keith will be with you in a minute. Let's see Scott outside. Do we know if he's sure about coming in?
Let me go look.
I think he's, did he get off work at 6? Is that the, I think you told me. So while we're waiting, if we could stand at this time, Keith, if you could come forward, we want to stand for our invocation. Keith Hovis, a friend of mine, colleague, one of our local pastors, we thank you for being here. We'll turn this over to you.
Okay, let's all bow in a word of prayer. Our Father in heaven, indeed, we're thankful for this day that you have blessed us with. Father, for the season that we once again realize your power and your ability as creator. The season of Thanksgiving, we're certainly thankful for that and have gratitude for all that you do for us each and every day. We're thankful, Father, for our town, for those who have positions to govern and to make decisions. We pray, Father, you continue to be with them and you continue to bless us as citizens in this town and in this county. We realize, Father, perhaps there are those among us who are struggling in some way in our community. We pray that you bless them according to their need. May they, Father, and each one of us as well, look to thee for the strength and guidance that we need. We pray, Father, that you bless the nation in which we live. For it's in Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Of our pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Keith, thank you, buddy. Just text, he's on his way. So, do we have any items from council to add to the agenda that is not on this at this time? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I believe everyone's had a chance to review the October minutes. Any editing that needs to be done from those meetings, from those minutes, I mean? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the October meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mr. Gilmer's on his way. I'm gonna skip. Diane, could you bring me a public request list, please? Stephen Ransom, Rose Drive. You can come forward, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Steve Brassen. I've been on Rose Drive for 32 years now. Recently, we have an issue that is getting a lot worse. The dogs running at large, and I mean vicious dogs. I don't mean just strays going up and down the sidewalk. I have discussed it with the chief here several times. I'm still at a loss, nothing happening. Recently, my youngest son, his wife and 2-year-old grandson moved back in beside us, and they have been attacked once. They have been chased more than once. It happened again at 6:30 last night, and there's approximately 50 deaths a year due to dogs in this country. the largest majority of them is kids. And I'm not waiting till my 2-year-old gets mauled by one of those dogs. I'm in the process of putting in a new security system and video. I'm in the process of looking at what other steps I can do. But telling these people is not helping the situation. You're gonna have to get the dogs or get the people. One of those, it's not getting any better.
Okay. Chief, what are our options with the county agencies as well, working with us on this?
Right, and like Mr. Russell said, we've had multiple conversations about it over the phone and stuff. So the biggest problem that we have is just been bad timing. We haven't found them out when we've been patrolling up there. We've assigned officers to be there at the times that hopefully that they're seen quite a bit. And it's just been poor timing or bad luck on our behalf. We haven't been able to catch them. The biggest issue that we face is us as a town agency. If we do get to the dollars, there's nothing we can do with it. So we've been in contact with animal control. They've assured me that they're extra patrolling it, that they're trying to catch them. Officer St. Clair did speak with some owners of, I don't know if it's only 2 that's running or what, but she did see some dogs out over the weekend and speak with the owners, and they told us that, you know, that theirs aren't the ones that's always out, but they would make sure theirs get put back up. So we're just trying to stay on top of the patrol and obviously get animal control up there at the time that they're out so we can get them picked up.
How many dogs are we talking about, Mr. Ransom?
I'm currently wired 4.
4.
That's 3 different owners.
Are the owners adjacent to your property, or are they?
One of them is.
Okay, so one of the issues is a next door neighbor, so.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So so have the owners, the complaints, chief, have they been notified of the problem? The owners of the dogs, have they been notified
Yes.
about?
Now, I can't confirm all, the owners of the ones that we found running loose were notified.
I'm talking about the owners that Mr. Rassey's talking about. Do you have their names?
No.
Do you know who they are?
No, we don't.
I'd like for you to talk to him before he leaves and find out who they are and where they live.
Yeah.
We can right now.
And make sure that we get some kind of notification. So we're ahead of the game when we have to enforce the different law,
Yes.
okay?
Preferably, Chief, sorry, Mayor, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Preferably, when you talk to them, if we could hand deliver them a letter also to keep on file, that way there's actually a documentation.
Yes,
trail.
Yes, sir. That typically the way when we've dealt with this issues in the past and other things, we've just taken them, the owner, a copy of the leash ordinance and then documented what time it was given to them and delivered and stuff, so we'll just handle it that way. Like I said, the 2 that we found out, their owners were notified. The other ones we've just been trying to catch at the time they've been out.
Do you know if these dogs have collars on them?
I think 3 of them do,
3 of them do.
I believe.
Are they, in yards
They
supposedly?
come up my driveway in my yard and growl at me and bark and go on.
So they come out of the owner's, they aren't
Yes.
secured.
No, they're not secure.
And they're on your property.
Yes, they're
Come
on
on
my
your
property. Every time this has happened, they've been on my property. I never called them when they were just running up down the street. I called when they entered my property.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, do you have any
Well,
other
there's,
direction?
the town has an ordinance that prohibits it. It would be a, it says it's classified misdemeanor if no specific penalty is provided, and you could get a warrant, you can swear out a warrant.
Right, just under the town ordinance, yeah, that's typically how The only other issue I can recall was when we had over by the Super 8 motel.
What now?
The only other issue I just I can recall is we had at the Super 8 motel with some animals, some dogs running large, we handled it that way. But yeah, that's, I mean, our next step, hopefully, animal control promises me that they're keeping it good and hot, trying to catch them. I hope that they are. And then, of course, like I told Mr. Rasnick, you know, if we could, if we see them out, we might not be able to actually take the dogs, but, it is this, and Mr. Gilligan, you know, it is a consequence that has to occur in our presence in order to make the charge on it. So if we can get a picture or a video of it, then we can take that, obviously, and get a warrant.
If the animal control sees them out, they can't pick
The
them up.
animal
even
control,
though they're so loud.
Yes,
They
yes,
can't.
we just, the town doesn't have any way
We can't.
to pick them up or contain them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, our next step, I guess, is just, would be to probably, even if we haven't caught particular dogs out, maybe just if you can point out the exact owners, then we can deliver probably wouldn't be any harm delivering a copy of the ordinance to the owners
I think it need to
anyway,
be
without
notified in
catching
writing.
dogs, you know. That may be the next step.
Yeah, I agree with
Next
that.
slide.
Any particular times, or is it all the time? Any,
Two of them are released after school the afternoon, as a teenager releases those. I think those are the two he's referencing they spoke to.
okay,
The other two are anytime.
anytime? Okay. Council, any other comments or questions from Mr. Rassick or the chief? We will put this on the radar, and I'm sure our officers will be notified to keep an eye out, and then we're gonna find out. Chief, I would like, you know, the animal control to work with us pretty diligent on this. I think we're all concerned. I don't want, none of us in here want these children,
Exactly,
these small children hurt now.
exactly.
We don't want it, and do whatever it is that we have to do to prevent it, where we legally can prevent it. Okay?
And hopefully you're seeing the increase of the officers up there looking for them, I'm hoping.
I'd like to give you some more information on that
Okay.
whenever you're available.
Okay, anytime. And then, like I say, tomorrow, we'll just go ahead and draft up ordinance to deliver. And I can get up with you tomorrow and get the exact addresses, and we'll just do that tomorrow and see if that adds anything.
You got your notepad there with you?
Yes,
Could you, maybe just step out and give him the names that he needs to know, the chief needs to know about for sure? Thank you, Mr. Rassett.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Coletta, how are you? Who's your neighbor there? You don't found him coming in?
Follow me in here, I hold my hand off me.
I'm not going to bar, that's for sure.
All right, be calm,
Oh, yes, he does too, just don't do it out there. I would like to say good evening to each and every one of you all, and I do want to thank you for letting me attend your meeting, and I do have a little issue I would like to discuss with you. It's kitty cats. I saw the article in the paper. I know there has been some issues with kitty cats through the town. That I can verify that most of the kitty cats are taken care of. I have been feeding the cats for 35 years. That's why I still work at 72 years old. Because Mickey told me I couldn't retire because my cat had it. The kitty cats, there's several of us that do take care of them. There are strays through the town, but different ones of us have our spots. The ones that I'm taking care of 30 in town now. And all of them, I feed them most of the time twice a day. I got their rabies shots, do flea treatments on them regular. I have them all spayed and neutered except 2 old boys that's 20 years old. I would just like, and I know there's people complaining about cats, people complain about everything, you know that. The thing that I would like to ask you all, these kitty cats, the spots that I feed in, is the Food City parking lot, Wendy's, It's behind Southern Estates, on up from Southern Estates, which we call the log yard. And then it's down the street from the courthouse. That's the spots that I've been feeding in. I have one cat, I call them my cats. They're my adopted cats. They do sit and wait on me. I've got one old boy that's, he's sat and waiting on me for 20 years. Every morning. And I have talked to the businesses. I've talked to them, they don't have any problems with them whatsoever. And they have told me, every one of them has told me, they don't see the kitty cats except early in the morning, they come sit on their little perches waiting on me, and then they see them in the evenings, around 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Sometimes I work late and it's 10, 11, 12 o'clock, but they get fed before they go to bed. But they do sit and wait on me. These kitty cats, I've got one at Wendy's I've been feeding for 20 years. He's healthy. I have another one that I fed there for 24 years, and then he died. I've got another one I had for 19 years, and then she got sick, and I took her I take them to the vet. If they get sick, if they're nipples, or if something has torn them up, I always take them to the vet. And then I've got cages at my home, I take them home, and I keep them until they're all healed. And then I have to take them back, because I've got 20 cats at my house that was picked up in this town that I adopted. So I'm feeding 50. I know you all have to take care of matters that is brought before you, and I do know there are some people complaining. But I have talked to some of the other people that's taking care of kitty cats through the pen, and they're doing the same as I am. They're getting spayed and neutered. Most of them are. They're feeding them. They're treating them with flea treatments and all that. So I feel like the problem of the cats in town, there's several of those people that are taking care of them. The thing that I do want to ask you, and I do beg and plead you, I beg every one of you all tonight, please don't put down an ordinance that we can't feed these little babies. Please don't do that. Please don't do that to them, and don't do that to us. They cannot go without food. They cannot. There will be a problem in this town if you do that. They will be a big problem, because they're going to be hanging everywhere begging for food. And I beg you with all of my heart, please do not put down an ordinance that we can't feed these babies. Please don't do that. Please, I beg you, I plead you, don't do that to them. Please don't do that. I know you all have to do things to take care of them, but please don't do that to them. Please don't. Please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But please don't put down an ordinance that we can't feed these little fellas and take care of them. Please don't do that. Thank you for your time.
Can I ask you something? I mean, you've been taking care of these for years, and they're getting spayed and neutered. Are people still bringing them or dropping them off? I mean, how are they submitted?
35 years.
They keep bringing them.
Every now and then there'll be one or two more show up. And then one or two of my old ones die out, you know. But,
Ms. Ho, does Rutgers locally work with you on that, or do you take them to the Mitchell Clinic? Like, is
I
Dr.
take them to Dr. Gents.
Okay. Because one thing I'm interested in, since we have, during the election, I heard it both ways. People concerned about feeding the cats and the population, and also from some of the caretakers. And my question was, I wonder if we could work with Dr. Rucker, to have them spayed or neutered, since we have this issue in town, even kind of a public-private relationship or partnership with Rutgers to see if they would be able to, possibly discount some of the pricing and helping with this immediate need, in our community. Since that may be, it sounds like that's the common ground that everybody has, is to get them spayed or neutered.
It is. Now, I have taken there at one time, I did take a few to Margaret B. Mitchell's, okay? The last one, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20. I've had I've got, I'm feeding 50 right now, but I have probably cared for at least 150, and I've had them spayed and neutered in this town. I did take a few of them, I started taking them to Margaret B. Mitchell's, and I took one, and, well, I took several, but I brought her back home, and she got real sick, real sick. And I took her back to, I called them and they said, bring her back over. Okay, I took her back to them and they said, we can't doctor animals, we can only spay and neuter. You'll have to take her to your regular vet. So Dr. Gent is my regular vet. And I took her to him and she was full of infection. And Dr. Gent said, the reason being the utensils they did the surgery with was not sterilized. He could tell from the infection. And when he started doctoring on her, he knew it was from the surgery. I go to Dr. Gent. I can stand on my driveway and I can see Rutgers Veterinary Clinic. I can take a few steps down the road and I'm right there, but I cannot afford them. I have worked with them a time or two, but I can't afford them. To spade one female cat, just to spade them, is $500 and some. Not counting distemper shots, rabies shots, all the other shots that we give them. I can't afford that. Dr. Gent charges me $200 and some per cat, and that is to spade, neuter. That is to do rabies shots, distemper shots. Then he charges me $35 more to do the feline leukemia test, of which, if they seem puny, I get that done on them too. So I cannot afford, as many as I have done, I probably had 150 in this town spayed and neutered.
Do you think, is there any organizations that will bring a mobile unit to our community? Like if the town was to sponsor that twice a year or something like that, do you think there's organizations that would be willing, if the town sponsored them, to come to our community and maybe, to help subsidize?
I don't know.
So that's something I think we need to look into possibly as well, since there's no animal control for cats, in Russell County.
I have spoken to Eric, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it illegal to pick up a stray cat and transport it somewhere and then bring it back and let it out? Well, I said, no, I'm gonna bring out your
Well,
teeth.
that's only legal if you take it and bring it back to where you picked it up from. It's just you can't take it.
Relocate
You
it.
can't take it from town, take it to another jurisdiction and set it out.
Oh, no, I've never done that.
Yeah, now, if you pick it up now, and you take it and have it spayed or neutered and then take it back where you got it, that's perfect.
Oh, okay,
Or
okay.
if you pick an animal up and take it and it's adopted, that's
Okay.
fine. You just can't,
I've adopted
you
animals.
just can't relocate.
Especially southern states, we've adopted a lot of the farmers. They love them in their barns.
It's just
But that's something we can check on.
I was asked to find a solution. I've talked to a lot of agencies, that was one of the solutions
Right.
that was mentioned by some other agencies, so I just threw it in with the list of solutions that I was asked to find.
Right, and I fully understand that,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you explaining it to me. But I did talk to Rutgers, I have talked to them years back, if there's any way that they could give me a discount to spay and neuter stray cats in the town. And they said no.
Well,
I
that's-
have
that-
gone to the Board of Supervisors meetings,
Yeah.
and I've talked to them. They don't do cats, they only do dogs. This is what I've been told. So I have put every can of food, I have put the vet bills. I found some that the cats are getting a fight, but they calm down once you have new little boys. That I've had to have them sewed up, I've had to have surgery on them, but I've paid it. But I've taken them back and let them out where they were originally, except the ones I do have at home. I can't take them all home. If I could, I would get run off. I would absolutely get run off.
Coetta, we thank you for being here and addressing the concern, and we'll consider, and maybe there's some ways we can work together in the community to address this issue in a positive manner, okay?
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
There was, my understanding is that there was money, I don't know if it's a grant or something, money was appropriated for a animal shelter to be built in the town of Lebanon.
Russell
And the
County,
money was awarded.
Russell County,
Russell
Board of
County.
Supervisors.
So the land was bought, and the brush was cut off, but there's no building. What's the
Yeah.
building?
Well, they have, they've talked, there is a plan to build a new animal shelter up there close to that property across from, the last word I heard is when you come out of the Palace parking lot below Dr. Rucker there. They
So
cleared off area, sitting right there. That's where they were looking at, but, that is their project, not ours, it's the Board of Supervisors. So just go and talk to Mr. Lester, or back to him, or go back to the Board of Supervisors meeting.
Mr. Lester wouldn't give me our advice, and he should, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But he would not, because he is the one that put me out of courthouse.
Oh, okay,
He said I was not a county employee.
okay.
But I have been told, and it's through the Board of Supervisors, that the money was spent on teachers' raises, and there will be no building.
I have no way of knowing that. I don't know. Some of the council members may know, but I don't know about the appropriation of funds
Right.
on the Board of
I was
Supervisors.
told direct,
Yeah.
Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
I don't know, and I'm not getting into that, that's not my concern. My concern is, please don't put an ordinance
Okay.
down that I can't leave these little babies.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
This is Melissa, Melissa, come on forward, this couch. I see kitty cats here too. Is that right?
What Coetta doesn't feed, I feed.
You feed, okay.
Those at Applebee's, we had a friend, he fed them every day of the morning. And then Miss Gilmer comes up and feeds them at the evening. And she takes them, she has them, same as Coetta, she has them spayed, neutered, and shots and everything. But if cats are a colony animal. If they live in colonies, and if the food source is there, they're gonna stay right where they're at. If the food source is taken away, they're gonna move. Those cats at Applebee's are gonna either go up to the Mexican restaurant or to the barn that was just built down the road there. And I know you're not too fond of having all them cats there. But they're harmless. Up there at Applebee's, they keep the rodents down, and God knows that building falling apart, it probably needs some rodents taken care of. But these cats, you know, they're not a trusting because they're not being around humans. They don't trust humans. I have cats that, as Coetta said, wait on me every day. And when I pull in there, there's this one, he just does circles in the parking lot until I get out. And there's one that runs over when I get the scoop of food. He has to be the first one to take that bite. You know, they get attached to you. But do you know that a stray cat doesn't know how to meow? Do you know why? Because it's not interacting with humans. It doesn't go up to someone and meow for food, water, attention. It has no reason to meow. They have no way of communicating. And a stray cat, if it's not fed and taken care of, 7% of the stray cats will not make it to 6 months old. And the life of a cat that is raised in the wild and stuff, if it makes it past that 7%, only has a lifespan of 2 to 5 years. Unless someone like me or Coetta come along. And then we extend that life. And they're not a nuisance. I mean, what harm are they doing that's sitting up there at that empty building? None. I would be honored to be able to have the privilege of feeding them. Instead of you saying, no, you can't feed them. You know, you'll go to jail or you'll get a fine or something. But they need help. Just like if any of you was homeless, you would appreciate someone coming and giving you a sandwich or a piece of food. So that's something to think about.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Mr. Kaiser Williams. How are you this evening, Kaiser?
I'm all right. How is everybody?
Good, sir.
All right. Well, yeah, I agree with them two ladies on the cats. You know, they don't bother nobody. They're not a nuisance. But what I see as a nuisance is the people running up and down the street, driving cars with no license, no insurance, all day long. The town law comes out to the house once in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday about a month. Well, I talked to Brad about it when he was going to the Florida Keys. He told me to talk to you. And I thought, there ain't no need. It ain't work, you know, they don't do their job. He don't make them, they ain't gonna do it. This goes on and on every day. When it gets dark at 5:30, 6 o'clock, they start coming out of Hicks Circle, right up and down the road, just like they're carefree. And then, hold on just a minute. Then if they hit somebody with no insurance, hurt them or kill them, then they're gonna come running with blue lights. It's too late then. Accident is done. There's no road checks, do you?
We have road checks.
You ain't had none done by my house.
Maybe not a lot, but we
It's
have.
been a long time.
And it's not a matter of, I don't make them do a job, they don't do their job. We can't just pull a vehicle over. We have to have reasons to pull vehicles over. We don't know who has license and who doesn't have license.
I talked to the county officers. They told me they have informed you all of who it is. And they said, as usual, nothing is done.
I disagree with that. I don't think that's the truth.
Well, they wouldn't lie to me.
Well, I wouldn't either.
Well, somebody's lying about something.
We can't just pull a car over just because someone tells us they don't have insurance or they don't have a license. We have to have a reason to stop a vehicle. It's in the
I know
state
that
code.
probable
We
cause.
have to have probable cause to
Yeah.
stop a vehicle.
Well, how come if you get a call on one, ain't that probable cause?
No, somebody could call me today and say, Mr. Williams doesn't have insurance. Do you want me to pull you over every time I see you driving just because?
That'd be fine, because I've got it.
I know, and you're a reasonable man, so you can file with that.
Then you got
Not
people
everybody would be.
that's riding cars with handicap tags that ain't even their cars. So, you know, if you don't have road checks anywhere, you're not gonna catch it. I've seen one 2 weeks ago, went down by my house, when the officer looked behind him. Turned into his mom's yard, officer went on down the road. His girlfriend said, he didn't even look over here.
Does the car do anything wrong?
Driving without a license.
But how did the officer know that?
He's been told
Again,
by me.
but again, sir, we can't go off those words. We have to have a reason to stop.
All right, well, then when they hit somebody, then y'all come running, and then there you are, there's a family that's done lost somebody, or somebody that was hurt, paralyzed or something, because you didn't pull them over. I mean, so in other words, if you just go out there and drive without a license, you know, if you ain't doing nothing, you ain't gonna stop. They can just get away with it.
We can't, sir. It's against the law to stop a vehicle without probable cause.
I've never seen nothing big. But then you're talking about the dogs. I can understand that too. There's 3 or 4 runs out there at my house, chases cars down the road. One of them got hit. Tractor and trailer had to stop today and blow the horn. And nothing done about that. Which the county did go up on the hill. One of them was the house that burnt, that third dog. They just left it. So, I mean, but then, like I said, we get back to driving without a license. I don't want to call the person's name, you know, out here. But, I mean, I can give you the names of the people that's doing it. Farm use tags running down the road, red and white tags that the governor passed, said is illegal, correct?
I'm sorry.
Then the governor passed a law that red and white farm use tags are illegal on vehicles.
For certain vehicles, yes, there's still a weight limit that can still use the rental.
Can't put them on the Subaru
No.
Outback?
No, sir.
All right.
And if that's seen,
Well,
and if that's seen.
Is
then it
that
can
probable
be
call to stop at?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that we're on the same
Yes,
page.
sir,
on that.
yes, yes, sir.
But some of this stuff is gonna have to stop. I mean, they just running wild. I mean, you know, like I said, they're gonna hit somebody, or if they hit my car or hit me with no insurance, and I got to pay the car, you know, pay for my own car, there's gonna be trouble. Cause I done told you.
I understand your tone, sir, but I can't take, I can't.
If you have a road check, you could catch them without a license.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah, if they come through it, there you are.
Possibly.
But if you don't have a road check, they're free at will.
Okay. We can obviously put up more,
Cause I ain't seen one down at my house in almost 2 years.
possibly, I wouldn't doubt that.
And I wouldn't either. That's all I got to say.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
Thank you, guys. I do have a question there to follow up on that. Dead tags, is that a secondary offense? I know there was some
It is.
legislation that was
It is a
passed.
secondary offense, you cannot stop for dead tags.
Okay.
And
And,
without a certain, there's a certain time frame. There's 4 months and 1 day.
okay. I knew there was legislation passed as far as primary and secondary offenses. And same way with inspection stickers, correct?
Yes.
And also, as long as they have a burning tail light, they don't have to have both, is that
One.
correct? Just one?
Yes.
So,
But they're all still violations, you can always, still be issued summons for, but the difference is now legislation has passed that you can't stop a vehicle for those reasons. You have the vehicle has to be stopped for another reason, and then you can issue summonses for those reasons. Now, if we have absolute knowledge that a driver does not have a license, we can stop if we see that. But it can't just be, it's the same as someone called in right now and said, hey, Mr. Kaiser doesn't have a license. Now, you're a reasonable man, and you would understand if we stopped you and checked. 90% of citizens aren't that reasonable, and they would sue the department for an illegal stop just because of someone calling in on them for vindictive reasons or anything like that. Someone call in and say, you know, Mr. Street doesn't have a license. Every time he drives through Lebanon, we pull him over. You know, most people aren't going to be as receptive to that as you would be. Obviously, if we know that they're not licensed and we see them drive, then we can make that stop. But it can't be hearsay. It can't be word of mouth. We have to have firsthand knowledge of that.
Well, how would you have it if you don't have a road check or watch them? See what I'm saying?
Well, I understand that you want more road checks in your area, and we'll get on that and do that. I mean, obviously, we've just been dealing with manpower issues and doing everything else. We just haven't, quite frankly, we just haven't had the manpower to do interdiction work and road check work and things like that. We just haven't really had the manpower to do that. But I will absolutely put some more of those out for you.
Because there ought to be, every weekend, to me, ought to be a road check on each end of the town. 71.
Again, you're a very reasonable man, and you would understand that, but if we do that, how many people's gonna be in here saying that there's a problem with that? You see what I'm saying?
So you'd rather,
So
rather them not to come in and tell you there's gonna be a problem with that.
No, I'm not, I'm just saying there's two ways to look at it. But I will absolutely find a way to have some more interdiction and road check work in your area.
You see, because I was sitting there one Saturday and Sunday, and I saw an officer one time Saturday, and one time that Sunday. Now within 12 to 16 hours, never show up.
How many are you talking, people, vehicles that's doing this?
I know at least 1 to 2 people. And it's every day, as soon as it gets dark, they head out. And the car don't even belong to them. And it's got handicap tags.
It's in the circle. Well, are they out of the circle?
Yes. And I don't know how many he's done wrecked. Put one up here at Elk Garden School. Could have been somebody there that he could have hit and killed. No license, no insurance. You've got the car, the G6.
If Mr. Williams gives you a name, is there I mean, is it illegal for you to check with DMV, or I guess you can check and see if they have a license?
They don't have
I
license.
mean,
He's been
but I'm
charged
asking,
5 times.
is it illegal for you to make that inquiry?
I don't know, I probably have to refer to if we could just randomly run.
You'd have to have a date of birth or social.
Yeah, I sort of said you have to have a little bit more than just a name. I don't know, I would research that, also with Mr. Tiller, if we're allowed to run someone's driving transcript. Just like citizen complaint, because I don't know.
Well, I said, road checks probably benefit other things in addition to what he's talking about. Unless I'm hearing from the council different, I don't see issue with doing some of these, Chief.
I don't either, and we can,
Like you say, you wouldn't want to do it somewhere regular, everybody says, hey, we have a road check this weekend on the same area.
Yeah.
Just spread it out a little bit.
Well, I kind of disagree with Mr. Williams, to do it on a regular basis on each end of the town, but I think if there's a formal complaint from one of our citizens, and it's viable that, that there could be some folks that are into misconduct, then I think we need to work with the police department and get those set up in those area towns. And also, Mr. Williams stated that he's only seen 1 or 2 patrol cars. And my understanding is that any citizen can call in and request additional patrol in their neighborhood. Is that correct, Chief?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, see, I called dispatch one time, a car went up behind the church. All right, it took them 40 minutes to get from wherever they lived in town to Emmanuel Baptist Church. The car left. I called dispatch and I told them, I said, you can go ahead and counsel them at the town offices, because whatever they've done up at the church, they've done it in go. 40 minutes from one end of town to the other.
And that's taken into consideration if they may have been one officer working on another call, on something else going on, they weren't. I mean, you can't just assume that they were just sitting there completely free and left as soon as they got the call. There's always the possibility that they were on another call and couldn't leave for 30 minutes.
Well, ain't that much goes on around here.
Well, there's more than you think,
Unfortunately,
There's more than you think, sir. Just this past month alone, we answered 626 calls for service.
That's like when that school bus
So
got
like I
stolen
said-
up at the school bus garage back here a few years ago.
And I was one that arrested him and charged him.
Yeah, he started at 4 o'clock in the morning. Y'all
He was
get out there.
arrested shortly after
And I
5.
called dispatch, and I asked him, I said, can you tell me what other school bus was going by my house at 4 o'clock in the morning blowing the horn? They said, no. I said, well, you reckon it's stolen? Well, come find out it was. They said the gate was laying in the road up there.
Outside of town limits.
At the school bus garage.
Yes.
Well, now, is that outside of town limits?
It's at the town limits, I'm sorry. It's
Right,
on the
right
other
to the
side.
gate.
Yeah.
And then, when y'all come out there, it was right at 7:15. Carrier come up and asked me, he said, when did you first hear it? I said, 4
He
o'clock
may,
this
Carrier
morning.
may have spoke to you at
He looked back and
7:15,
said-
but I stopped the vehicle.
4 o'clock.
Carrier may have spoke to you at 7:15, but I stopped the vehicle way before 7:15. He was
No,
arrested and
when
charged.
he saw y'all, he just pulled in front of my house and walked off the bus.
No, he did
Like
not. I pulled him over when I see the vehicle. I pulled him over and removed him.
In front of my house.
Yes, I pulled him over and I removed him.
I was
from
standing on the
house.
porch.
Yes.
When he saw y'all, he pulled over, he opened the door and got out.
He pulled over
Like
when
he
I,
getting off the bus.
he pulled over when I activated my emergency lights. And I walked to the bus and took him off the bus.
I didn't see that.
No, I did, I was there.
All right.
And there's another issue, the leaves and the stuff that's on the sidewalks up there at the house. We got one guy out there cut his wood on the sidewalk. Now, ain't that destructing the property with that axe or bomb on the sidewalk?
Split
Split
wires.
wood on the sidewalk, yeah. Leaves piled up, there's pop cans in the gutter, they've been sitting there 3 days or longer. They don't sweep the streets. Abington sweeps their streets every day. Every morning I go through between 6:30 and 7, their sweeper truck is running down the street.
Drew, put that on your list, but I mean, our street sweeper, I see, of course, as you know, I live on Main Street, and I see them come through.
Only when it rains.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and of course, the advice, you know why they tell you that, don't you? The machine picks up more when it's wet, apparently. But
Keeps the dust down
So
too.
if everything does nothing.
yeah,
Well,
you just need to add that to the list, to the street department group, check Cleveland Road for
I called here one day, there was a boat laid down there at this red light, an ag boat, about that long. I called town, the office out there and told them, somebody needs to pick that up, you know, when one of you guys come through, keep somebody from getting a flat tire or peeling off and hitting another car. It never happened. I come in one night from towing a car, I stopped there at 1:30 in the morning, picked that boat up myself about a week later.
All right. Thank you all.
That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you, Cash. Thank you.
I'm gonna stay ready to go.
All right, we're now going back up to approval. Scott, we skipped item 6, the accounts payable, capital assets. So we're now back to that agenda item. Everyone had a chance to look at our accounts payable?
Was there any additions for the from the town manager, Mayor?
No, sir. I don't believe.
I'll make that motion to approve the October accounts payables presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. New business, I guess is probably under your report too, isn't it, Greg?
Yes, sir.
Down the town manager's report.
Evening, everybody. Got a decently long report this month, but we're working our way through it. If you flip to the information package, part of your package, just flip one page over from that. Your bid stipulation sheet is there, the tabulation sheet for the lights we can discuss over old business on the agenda. The first item I have is for our police radios. We talked about last council meeting, the county, the radios we were going to get from the county, we ended up not getting those, so we have borrowed some portable radios from the county, so I was asked to get a plan in place for us to get our own portable radios. I talked to the chief, he's got some quotes for some new radios. He's asked for 12 portable radios for the department. You got a quote on the exact price?
The exact price was, well, there is no exact price because we have to transition to a new radio. The ones that we have borrowed that we were trying to buy for a year, according to MCA, is obsolete now. The portables that we just got are already obsolete. So according to Randy at MCA, the ones that we have now that we were hoping to buy are no longer going to be able to be purchased after December 15th, and then we're no longer going to get parts for them after 3 years. So the next model up that he's selling, he doesn't have the exact price of the next model up that's coming after December 15th, but he says it will be in the range of 37 to 4,000. 3,700
Per unit.
Per unit. So my suggestion, my plan, like I said, I'm not asking for any approval tonight, but my plan going forward would be, the police department has budgeted a capital outlay of $40,000, so I would suggest we'll make a plan to get 12 of those radios. Come January 1st, we're looking at getting priced for 6 of those, to use around $20,000 to $25,000 of that capital outlay, and then order 6 more after July 1 to break that up into 2 separate budget years of their capital outlay. That way we don't take their entire $40,000 up front halfway through the budget year in case something was happening later on.
Drew, I've got a question. Chief, you may be able to answer this too. I also saw in here where the fire department are requesting portable digital radios. What you all require, is that different than what they require?
Chief.
I'm not sure what they offer, but
His are the BK5000
yes.
radios.
I'm not sure on that. I know there's some different components in the two, and it's my understanding that We don't need, for lack of a better word, we don't need as fancy than radios. I guess is lack of a better word.
As the fire department,
Yes.
but the fire department, they're $2,300 a piece.
I'm going off of what I was told by Randy, maybe he had it back, maybe he meant they didn't need one as fancy as ours.
Okay.
I'm going off what I was told. I was told that ours was,
Well, we don't know we're comparing apples to
Well, that's what I'm
apples.
saying.
right.
That's
I was
what
told ours was more basic than first responders, than fire departments.
And like I said, again, we're not asking for any type of approval of anything, just, you know, like I said, we start to get a plan together. And I would like to break those up and set in two separate purchases, 2 fiscal years for that.
Is this the lower, how many quotes did you get? 3 different quotes?
No, I've only spoken with, MCA on it, and they are on a state contract, state bid, so we didn't have to go through
So
the
we don't,
procurement.
okay.
Yeah, so, that's the company that's did all of the radios with us, so I felt it was best, since they were on state contract, just to say with them.
Chief, can we go ahead and get quotes? I think John had mentioned to me that these were on state bid, but he ended up getting them $1,000 cheaper.
But are they the same? I mean,
Well, I'm just saying, let's just get 3 additional quotes that meets the specs that the chief would like, just in case we can, can't hurt, we got some time, between now and next month.
okay.
Go ahead and get those quotes, and, maybe we can beat the state bid, like the fire department.
And it looks like, Chief, they're using 1033 communications, and there's a copy of the state bid, Drew, in your town manager report.
Yeah.
This seems like an extremely complicated situation, and it is hard for me to wrap my head around.
You talk about the state bid,
Just get
No,
radio.
the digital daggone radio.
But they're obsolete too, already.
I know, and that's what gets me, because I thought, the ones we borrowed seemed to me to be the latest and greatest of everything we had, and then he
And
tells
they're
me,
already outdated.
we
Not
can't
to
order that.
disclaim this gentleman, but I'd like to follow, since you're following up on quotes, I believe I talked to Bill, or who's?
Well, this is the company that the sheriff's office goes through. This company is the one that did all the radio work for the entire county. That's why I just stated in his realm.
I mean, that's fine, but I'm just, I don't understand why all of a sudden, I mean, those basically aren't any good. They've only had these 2 or 3 years,
Exactly.
or not hardly 3 years yet. And they're no longer available?
Not after December 15th.
Can we trade them in without giving them back to the county? Some credit.
Well, the county will probably just let you keep them at this rate, if that's what's going to happen.
So is the
You
county
know what
gonna
I'm
have to
saying?
get on them too?
Well, no, the ones I have will still be operable, and they'll probably use them until they tear up. I mean, they may get 10 years on them. It's just you can't order this particular radio anymore after December 15th.
Did we ever get a definite answer from Mr. Lester on if we were owed 10 radios or not owed 10 radios?
not that I've ever heard.
I never got a definite answer to Mr. Leonard. I talked to him the last 2 or 3 times. He said, "Oh, I forgot. I gave you the wrong impression. That was my mistake."
It was convenient.
I said, "Well,
Not sure it was
I
a
know
mistake.
what, I just said, I know what you told me. That's all I can tell you. That's where I'll end it. That's all I'll say. But anyway,
It has been a
it
lot.
seems to me, it's complicated, Chief, okay? For me, it's gone from complicated to frustrated.
Yeah.
This should not be this difficult to get radios for our police department. This thing's been complicated from the get-go.
I agree.
You know, it doesn't make sense to me.
And what's the most frustrating issue is we had the issue resolved.
Yeah.
We had everything approved,
Yeah.
and we were told, take 10 portables off your order because we're getting
I
them.
know, yeah,
So,
and that didn't work. That really helped us, didn't it?
yeah.
We see where we're at.
But anyway,
But yeah, I'll get those quotes together for different agencies and try to find.
yeah, just see what's out there.
Are you gonna be okay with 6 radios, Chief,
Yes.
until July 1?
Yes.
Because if I'm not mistaken, when all this was taking place, we were talking about using ARPA money to purchase these things. And we were deceived, lied to, convenience, whatever anybody wants to call it. But my question is, and I explained this to you, I think last meeting or the meeting before, it is imperative that we get you all what you need to communicate with dispatch. And I'm not I'm not willing to wait any longer.
6 radios, yes, we're operating off of the 6 loaner radios right now, it's working perfectly fine, as far as having officers used to turn them in, when they die, I mean, yeah. If we could get 6 at a time, yes, it takes care of it.
This gentleman say how long it take you to get them?
From what he's telling me now, that the turnaround time is not like it was, that now we're looking at a decent time between ordering and turning around.
Was it 3 months, 3 months, and 3 months?
So if we get 6 in January, are they, I mean, this might be a dumb question, are they gonna be compatible with the 6 we got from the sheriff's department?
Yes. And that's one thing that I did ask, the new upgrade, whatever we have to purchase after December is completely compatible with our system, yes. So, for now, unless they make something else obsolete within the next few years, but that was, I think with us going digital like we have, it gives us more options on what's compatible and what's not. I think that having the analog system was what hurt us on having to be pigeonholed in one particular radio. But, you know, these
And the
new
radios we got now, they can communicate on foot if they're out of the vehicle.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the 3 mobile radios from 1033 Communications in the amount of $7,095 for the Lebanon Fire Department.
Second.
Any further discussion? Or questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Who seconded it?
Brad?
Brad did. Okay there, Mr. Short.
Next item on my manager's report is the DEQ Clean Water Revolving Loan Fund. After the committee meeting, I've checked with Alan Cornett, our original offer of $6,715,000 loan with DEQ is still open and available. To accept this offer and move forward, council will need to make a motion to accept the revolving loan fund identified number C515756. And that number will need to be in that motion. This is not committing the town to $6.7 million. This is only committing to take as much as we need from that for our projects.
So moved, Mayor.
Also, sorry, Councilman Gilman, but in that motion, we'll also need to vote to decline C515816 because that also includes work on the pump stations. That was the second time we offered. We went back and had Lane Group apply for just funding on the pump stations themselves. So we need to decline that one and accept the one that has the scope of work for the wastewater plant and the pump stations.
Do you need a specific motion made, Kevin? Do you need to?
I guess you just move to accept. Is
Which
it
one are we?
loan number C515756?
Yes.
And to decline C515816.
Correct.
All in one motion? Scott, are you good with that?
So moved.
I'll second that, Mayor.
Discussion?
We're accepting the $6.715 million total loan amount. We can draw that down as the work is completed. And then we're declining.
It's actually not even drawn down, it's not even due until after completion. So you don't draw down as you're in construction. You get your final contract price, and then that's when you go and agree with your loan.
And then we're declining the 515816, which is approximately $1 million because of redundancy in the 2 grants.
Correct. Yep.
This is a loan, correct?
Correct.
Up to a amount of that $6 million, whatever you. Okay.
Yes, sir. Which when I talked to Alan Cornett, DEQ, that's the project manager, I already mentioned to him that we prioritized down to about a little over $3 million. He said that's completely fine.
We know how long that approval is good for.
How long the
Loan DEQ offers good.
once we accept it, it's good. So we're going in, that'll free the Lane Group up to start construction documents and start getting bids.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
My next item, pickleball quotes. We'll skip over it for just a second because it's kind of in the back of the packet, so we'll get there as we go through the information. The county easement. The sheriff's office, bills came to me, they're looking at possibly building a building on some school board property below the primary school. We want to have shelter emergency items, generators, their side-by-sides, that sort of thing. And they have asked for an easement from the town to access this property through the volunteer fire department parking lot. The lot is up there kind of behind those apartments. When you drive up to the primary school, first left, it goes to that cul-de-sac. It'll be between the fire department and that cul-de-sac is the property that they're looking at. So they would need,
So are they gonna grade that off flat? I know it's similar.
they'd be probably digging more in the back than towards the front, trying to dig out that hill in the back instead of building there. But when I met out there, Sheriff Watson was there, Brad Patton with PSA was there, and Josh Stinson, the building inspector, was there. It looked like everything was going to work out for them. Also spoke to Chief McCoy, he doesn't have a problem with it.
So as far as, I personally am not gonna have a problem with it, I just wanna make sure that the entryway is properly done, so we don't have a bunch of runoff into our fire department parking lot.
Yeah, they would still have to do the entrance permit and all that sort of thing. We'd get them out there, get the building, see, because there's a creek over there to the left, so there's a drain pipe, I have a drainage ditch in it and everything.
Mr. Tiller, advice on this one?
It
Are we
just be-
okay with this?
Yeah, it'd just be a deed of easement through that parking lot, that's all you'd have to do,
Okay.
access.
That needs to be a motion, Mr. Tiller, or is that okay, just let the town manager move forward?
Probably need to, since it's involving a property right, you probably do need a motion.
It needs to be in the minutes
And a
there
vote,
somewhere.
yeah. Town votes to grant an easement to the county in the event the county builds that structure, goes forward to building that structure.
I'd like to put that in the form of a motion there. Second.
Got a first and a second, a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Next item is our VDOT crosswalk project. I got the drafts last week from,
Drew, can we back up just for a second?
yes,
Brad, with this, is there any potential here to utilize this? Would we need any space as well in that area for anything with the fire department or, the
Search and rescue.
the search and rescue and that sort of thing? So my question is this an opportunity for us to maybe work with them and get some storage space as well for any of our equipment with our fire department or search and rescue?
I think they're storing their
I would defer to the chief McCoy on that, but it would also, them doing that would free up some space, because we're currently housing them now at the fire department. But I would just encourage the town manager to confer with the chief to see how he feels on that.
That's a yo-yo there. They've gone back and forth on it.
Yeah.
I've heard they've approved it, now I've heard they've not approved it. On the county side, so.
Sorry, Drew.
no, you're fine. As I was saying, I got those drafts for the plans. I don't think these were the plans anyone had in mind when we applied for this project. I've also, since making the packet, I've added extra stations, the emails, excuse me, not the emails, the actual application with VDOT, and the highlighted portion shows exactly what we asked for. We never asked to move crosswalks or mill up or brick crosswalks and loose turning lanes with islands and I think that would make it almost impossible for our police to control traffic, especially with that island. So I'm suggesting to decline this offer from VDOT unless they can go back, once I talk to Shoemaker, unless he can go back and just change to what we wanted, but after reading her email and the reasons why they changed them, their engineers changed them, I don't think there's any hope in that. But I would look at possibly State Street funds and see if we can purchase our own flashing pedestrian signs and install them.
And install ourselves.
Yeah, I
A
don't,
lot cheaper. What'd you say that was? $60,000, $70,000 with everything?
it's not, it's gonna be more than that. Replacing pavement, replacing curb and gutter, replacing sidewalk. And the good thing is, when I talked with Billy about it, I think we can, since we came on up with we applied for this in 2022.
Yeah.
So since then, we came on up with our downtown lighting project. So we have conduit with 120 running in the road right there. So I think we could go at that crosswalk, dig down and tee into that conduit and pull electric instead of having to have solar power. It'd look nicer anyways. But I'm not asking you to make any kind of motion to decline it right now. Let me double check with VDOT to make sure there's no plans or scopes of work changes we can make before declining. But I know you guys wouldn't approve of that, so I made sure I
Let's make sure, that's what I'm asking.
talked to them.
Is
Yeah.
everybody good, council? I don't think any of us are in favor of what we've seen here. Is that right or wrong?
Correct.
Okay, now you're good.
Okay. Virginia Health Department, lead service line notifications. This is, the lead service line inventory that we've been working on. We did the lead work flame group, we sent out the surveys, basically trying to get an inventory throughout the entire town of everyone's, service line, which your service line is your line past your meter that services your house. So we're trying to find all lead lines, and eventually do away with those. Part of this project, Virginia Health Department has given us templates to send out to everyone in town that basically if your house was built after 1986, you're good because there was a lead ban that banned lead fixtures and lead water lines in houses. So anything after that, you're good. If you had lead, and when we did the inventory, if you had lead in your house, if you had galvanized service in your house, or if it was unknown, the town is required to send a letter to everyone, letting them know they may have lead service lines. Again, this is not the town of Lebanon's water or the town of Lebanon's lines, but I guarantee
We'll send that letter
we're
out.
going to hear about it when we send that letter out. So we are I'm getting the land group right now to send a more informative letter out instead of just saying, hey, you may have lead pipes, and here's a number to call.
So this is the EPA and Virginia
Basically,
Department of Health.
EPA has put it off on the states, and then the states put it off on the municipalities.
What agency? Department of Health? Health Department?
Health Department, officer.
This is not the town of Lebanon, water system, correct?
No, this is not, like I said, we are gonna get the citizens, we're gonna try to make it easier than what the template says. There's a few templates in the book, those were sent from the health department. We don't want them to read a letter, which I would feel the same way. You read a letter, you may have lead in your line, your house may be served by lead, and then 3 steps down it says effects lead has on children. I mean,
You get to put that letter out,
yes,
or can you write your own letter?
we can write our own, but we have to have those bullets.
You have those bullets in that letter?
Maybe Mr. Sean can help prep the community.
So,
Yeah, that'd be good, Sean.
Funyuns and dirt racing
Dirt racing ticket?
and Funyuns.
We may have to send the letter before the lead in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to
The
see.
letter is, we have to start sending those off out November 15th.
A be advised letter,
Friday.
not over
You
yet.
just send them out by Friday?
Yes.
Bless your heart.
So we are working with the Lane Group, we're working for we're looking at some marketing to put on social media, to put in the newspaper. I'm gonna talk to the ladies up front that are gonna be answering the phones, educate them on the answers, to make sure everyone knows there's not lead. Yeah, there's not lead in the town water, and the town is not, because what's gonna happen eventually, I could be wrong, but eventually, once they have this inventory, the EPA, the guidelines and regulations, I'm assuming it's just gonna be like it was with electricity, like knob and electricity. You're not gonna be able to get a federal loan if you have lead service lines. That's gonna be the way they make them replace it.
Sean, we got time maybe to work with you in time for next week's article, paper?
Yeah, well, I guess the letter might come out before the paper though. won't it?
So it'll cut, see, it's coming out Friday.
Yeah,
correct?
correct.
Yeah, which is not, this is not just the town of Lebanon. Russell County has to do it, Homelander has to do it, St. Paul, every municipality
PSA?
that serves water in the state.
Oh, okay. So there's gonna be a lot of letters going out.
Correct.
Not just the towns, the county as well.
Every municipality that provides service water.
Okay.
Unless your system was installed after the levy
Yeah,
date.
gotcha.
Like I said, that's just a heads up, because that's something we're gonna be facing for the next month or so. And if you all are approached by anyone that asks what it is, that's, the answer
Still
is.
to call you.
I do have a suggestion. It's just to help with the flow with the ladies up front. But I would have a standard operating procedure list of how they answer questions written or typed with bullets by each of their phones. That way they're not, winging it.
They're all talking the same language.
Talking over, trying to talk over people's head with information that they don't really understand.
Yeah.
Just frequently ask questions and good quality answers. What's so funny, Sean?
That would have been a heck of an October surprise, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Next on my list is the Christmas lunch and council meeting. The Christmas lunch for employees will be at Bonanza again this year, December 9th.
Mayor has a request,
Okay.
Mr. Short.
Okay.
I would not be available on the 9th. I'm asking the council to consider having a December council meeting the week before sometime, if you're available. Tuesday through a Thursday or whatever.
You talking about changing the council meeting?
Yeah, I am.
And what about dinner? You change the dinner?
No, I like the idea of doing it. I think have a council meeting.
Same lunch.
Yeah, and then have the lunch, then come,
And then.
just change the day.
Yeah.
So what day works best for you, Mayor, in December?
Yeah.
5th or 6th?
Whatever, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, either one of
We
those.
got a parade on
Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. What?
Oh, I'm sorry, on the
It's on
second.
Monday, yeah.
Second.
First Monday.
Can we do the 5th? That's
Thursday?
That's the Thursday.
You off during, do you know Thursdays?
What that ball game?
That's why I want Thursday, because that's the only night I don't have a ball
Well, it'll be during the day.
Do I have a ball game?
Yeah, it'll be a day.
It's a day meeting,
It's
then.
a day, it's not during the day.
Okay,
game. Okay.
so we're gonna meet at,
All
we
right.
made it 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah, we're having the Christmas lunch, and then like we did last year, we come
Okay,
here.
I'm good.
I'm good any day.
I'm
On the
good.
5th,
I'm good Monday, I'm good. The week, I'm sorry.
You good?
I would prefer to have a shorter gap between lunch and the meeting, because last time we were
Yeah, we would have
kind
to
of
wait.
standing around waiting on a
1 o'clock.
Let's do one.
On the 5th?
Yeah.
So
what
lunch,
you do?
lunch is 11 to 12, correct?
Start
11 to 1,
11:30.
11 o'clock.
11's when we start.
Okay. I'll need to make sure Bonanza is available that day too.
Well, let's give Diane an alternate date.
2nd or 3rd? Just check the week.
Second, or 3rd through the 5th.
That may even be better to do it on the second, the day of the
Do
parade.
it all in one day.
Yeah, that way I can take one day, half a day of work and
How's the 2nd, Scott?
Second?
Yeah.
prior to the parade.
Or rep,
The day of the parade.
lunch, meeting, and then gives you time to fix your hair.
That's right, you can go home, get ready for,
Hey, you wanted to show up late. Don't look down here about the hair, right?
That's fine with me, Mayor. I'm off work.
okay.
I'll be on short-term disability after my surgery.
Oh, that's, how you gonna get up on top of that
Oh,
wagon?
Rachel's gonna put me on it.
we don't
Okay.
know. That's a good question for Miss Deanna.
I'll help you.
Rachel, she'll get him up there.
Yeah. I can ride a horse, Mayor.
Okay.
So we're doing on the 2nd then?
Monday, December 2nd.
If Diane does, let us know.
At 1 o'clock?
11 o'clock, the luncheon for the employees, 1 o'clock council meeting.
I'll put that in the form of a motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
Second.
Fifth or second?
December second.
Second.
Change the council meeting to 1 PM and the Christmas lunch at 11 AM.
Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute.
You said you had to check with Bonanza first to make sure that that was built.
I
Probably
felt
he wouldn't.
sure that'd be fine.
He wouldn't have anything that big during the day, so.
I think we're okay. All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank y'all very much.
So that's the next step of the lead and copper. What's the step after the notifications?
There'll be, eventually, we'll have to probably start it out, they'll ask for another, you're gonna have to gather 10% of your system this time, after notification, which we are gonna put on that letter, hopefully, to get some reaction back. If you know, on the unknown letter, if you know your service line, please let us know, and that way we can mark some more of those off. But they'll ask for another 10% next year, to have it done, maybe. We'll see what kind of regulations come with the EPA, what kind of changes come after the election.
Y'all, I might have asked Diane, but I might have asked about the lead copper, but the text.gov, have we automatically enrolled people into that we have their contact information?
For the,
No, you mentioned a third party doing that for us.
Yes, we have a marketing, they're part of the contract is them doing marketing, but I've enrolled the ones that did the surveys that were not on, surveys that had a phone number, but still, it's still a slim number. We are gonna work with text.my.gov to get a mailer out, like a postcard out.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Mentioned, because even with the ones on the water survey, I was able to get them on the general information.
Yeah.
But I really need them, one of the bigger things is getting them on what trash route they're on.
Yeah.
Because I can't know that by phone number, but once you can put that in 7 different messages.
Yeah.
Instead of sending out, when Tuesday's trash isn't going to be picked up, you don't have to send it to everyone. You just click Tuesday's trash residents and send it to them.
I think Diane made a good suggestion that we need to get updated contact information as they come in the town hall as well.
Right.
Drew,
Yes, sir.
before we move forward, can we put Mr. and Mrs. Hogue at ease this evening that, speaking for me, I've got no interest in moving forward with any type of ordinance dealing with the cats, at least at this time, until we've gathered information, crossed our T's.
That would involve a public hearing anyway,
I would just
correct?
like,
I mean,
I've been 4 years and heard one complaint. I'd like to hear more complaints rather than, I'm 38, she's the cat lady.
I've got
My
0.
kids know, I'm sorry, I mean, it is, my kids know you as the cat lady, and I've got no interest until somebody commercial gets me going the other direction. I've got no interest in, I think there's a lot bigger fish to fry, but I'm sure that may come on the skillet sometime, but, for me now, and I mean, it's 7:19, you've got cats to feed. I don't think we're gonna do anything tonight or for my sake, in the foreseeable future, for my sake. Just So, to put you at ease. I know y'all probably restless and maybe just hanging around for that. If you're just hanging around to see us too, that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've never been to, I've lived in this town for 50-some years, and I've never been to a town council meeting. And it's interesting, it really is. And Mickey was wanting to talk to Scott before Scott leaves tonight. If you have.
You want me to call you after the meeting?
Probably.
It may be 9:30 or 10 o'clock.
Probably we're waiting for a phone call.
So that's what he was.
I just want y'all to,
something.
I just didn't want y'all to sit here for nothing. I mean,
I read everything in the paper when you all have your, but I've never been to a meeting.
we appreciate you.
Good to see you.
You can certainly stay if you want to.
Very impressive.
Ms. Hogue,
Yes.
I'm also interested, and hopefully the council will support me on this, but I would like to work with Southwest Veterinarian Clinic and Dr. Ruckers, and the town actually sponsor a spade and neuter clinic possibly, where we subsidize the town citizens that want to bring cats to their facility, if she's willing to work with us to do that. So that's one thing I hope that we can work towards getting maybe at least a once a year event that we do that, since we don't have any animal control, for cats at this time in the county.
I do know of a great group out of Roanoke, I'm sure they're still in business, the Angels of Sissy, you heard of them?
It's a band that takes,
Yep, they were
They take
wonderful
them.
for my pets and just charged me like $10 an animal. They take them to Roanoke, bring them back to you the next day, so I would be very interested in housing some kind of event to sponsor
I think
that,
they do.
if not locally. So I think there's a way to help, but my kids, I mean, honest, I know you guys, y'all know my whole family, but I know you more as the cat lady than anything, so do my kids.
That's my name,
And,
my husband is a cat lady.
I mean, my children, if I passed something like this without all the information, my kids would be also devastated, so that's my statement.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And
This time.
takes me 3 hours.
Has she fed you yet, Mickey?
No, he hasn't had time to buy yet. But I get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours feeding, and then in the nights, sometimes Eric can tell you it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I eat supper and go sleep. And I wake up and I gotta go feed my tweet-tweets. They're waiting on me. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 5. They're sitting there waiting.
Thank you all
They're
very
waiting
much.
on mommy. Thank you all,
See you.
and I really appreciate you letting us, have the floor to speak, and I appreciate every one of you all. I
Thank
really do. Scott, we'll talk to you later. I don't even know what it's about. It's something we'll be talking to you about.
Yes, sir. I'll give you a call, Mickey.
Okay, sounds good. And thank you all.
Thank
See you.
Thank you. Eric's officers looks out for me at night because they see me 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They come see if I'm okay. Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
See you, Cody.
All right.
Give me a nice sweet kiss.
Next item was, our salt contract with VDOT. I've been working with VDOT, lately on salt storage facilities, getting, finalized up. Now we're ready to get some salt put in it, be prepared for winter. We are able, like most municipalities, localities are doing, to piggyback off of VDOT's salt contract. That contract is $135.71 per ton. It's quite a bit cheaper. When I first started looking into getting some quotes, it's quite a bit cheaper per ton than what we can find it at. So with council's approval, I would like to just continue to piggyback off the contract as long as they'll let us.
Do you just get it as you need it, or do you get it?
So our first,
like once?
our first order, we'll order 200 tons, which is gonna be around $27,000, which will be State Street money. But that also ends us spending $4,000, $5,000 this snowstorm, $4,000 to $5,000 next snowstorm, every time we go to VDOT to get it. It'll
This
be-
comes off VDOT or maintenance.
Urban maintenance.
Urban maintenance.
And then we will restock it as needed. But 200 tons, we house that, so we can house 200 tons. Because that's the maximum amount that you can house before building a retention pond and that sort of thing. That's usually what we're allocated per year. We'll go over that every now and then, depending on how the winters go, but we're usually allocated 200 tons a year.
That'll be in our new facility.
Correct.
The good thing about that facility is we no longer have to leave our trucks loaded.
Correct.
For warmer weather after storms or whatnot.
We haven't got those holders up yet, but that's the next thing to do up there, is to get
How
that
long,
solid.
how long away are we from being ready up there?
I will take them, they can bring the salt, we're good to go, we're ready to
How
go.
about what you just said, the holders or whatever?
Depending on material wise, when we can get it, and what, I mean, it'll take a week to build.
Okay.
And then I'm supposed to meet with AEP tomorrow about getting power, getting lights there.
What's the, quote, what was that quote again on the tons?
135.
135.71 per ton, and our initial purchase will be 200 tons.
Sir, motion to approve that, contract.
Exactly.
I'll put that in form of a motion, Mayor, to approve 200 tons for the initial load for the new salt dome at $135.71 per ton.
$27,142.
I'll second that motion.
To come out of what?
Urban maintenance, sir.
VDOT urban maintenance.
Does under discussion, Mayor, do they need a motion of the modification of the agreement, or you just need a motion?
No, we just need a motion
Okay.
for basically for the purchase. They were given, get on their contract, we're there.
Did you second it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Now, if we keep moving in the information packet, we get to the pickleball quotes, last sheet. Work with Billy and Robbie and LC this week, and that's our rough estimate on each itemized down through there, except you can probably go ahead and add in another about 5,000. We did finally get a fence quote back today. It was closer to 13,000 to 15,000 more than likely on that fence quote. So that one was from Horton.
Update me a little bit. Drew, how many courts is this?
This is 3 courts.
Okay.
So the concrete pad you're looking there, 105 yards of concrete. The wall is the retaining wall. It's going to be set back on the back side of the courts. Stone, obviously, to prep, or fence, there you go. The stone's obviously to prep the concrete. New nets and poles. Then the court surfacing. Labor was Robbie, LC, Roger Francisco, John Puckett, Calhoun. I had, I think Robbie and LC out there 6 weeks, Roger 4 weeks, John, Calhoun 3 weeks, and Roger 2 weeks. Roger Stats, not Stats.
Drew, that 600 block for the wall, is that including 140 cap block, or is that total?
No,
140 block.
600 regular block, then 140 cap block.
Are they using, are people using, I see a group out here regular, is that every morning they're playing out there?
We're playing in the morning, and it's so cold, we unlock the rec center, or they set the rec center nets up, you play inside.
Okay.
Which this 153, 600, that does include the lowest bid for the lights on the pickleball. So you're looking at 74,300 of that is also with the lights included.
We buy those blocks direct.
We did when we did both of the retaining walls, correct?
So that $4,000 quote is accurate, correct?
Unless, that's just a rough measurement on the block. We may need another wall, we may need less, depending on, we kind of just guessed on how much is going to come down in the corner. But yeah, price per block, I think is around $5 per block. Maybe a little bit less on the regular block, maybe a little bit more for the cat block.
Yes.
So what's the price, Brad, minus the lights? Because we'll discuss the lights under the town park lighting project. And with the addition of a $13,000 fence.
79.3.
I'd like to move forward with that, Mayor.
So moved. Do we need to put an up to amount or just?
I don't think so.
Just
I don't think so.
This is our folks doing this, correct?
Correct.
Was, when you said you'd like to move forward, was that a motion?
No, it was just a conversation.
Conversation.
I would like to put it in the form of a motion that we move forward with the pickleball project.
I'll second.
Did you get that, Ms. Dan? Brad and Leonard? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
When can we break ground? Will it be spring, or will we have to do some stuff this winter?
We could maybe able to get some of the stuff tore out and stuff during the winter time when I get done playing. It gets too cold to play, we'll probably get in there and start tearing some stuff out and grading it and getting the surface prepped for quarter.
Brad said 45 days on the project initially.
Robbie says 6 weeks.
6 weeks? Okay.
I'll take it over.
We'll take it.
Be over.
It's over.
6 weeks is good weather.
Yeah,
There you go.
6 weeks of good weather.
good qualifier.
Working day, good weather.
Good
I
qualifier.
like it.
And then my last item I have here, 2 items, but Councilman Gilmer took care of Chief McCoy's request for the radios. Nathan has put it, or I put extra packet, Nathan gave me these Friday evening. He has worked on rebuilding the project, the pavilion planting projects. There's 3 quotes at your stations there for those from Edders, AAA Landscaping, and Davis
The
Brothers.
old Davis crew.
This is them doing all the planting, the trees, the shrubs, bushes, all the work except for our guys who install sod and rock.
Cheapest bids ever at 10,820.
Yes, sir.
How's that work? Is that a springtime deal project, or do they go ahead and start? Do y'all know how that works?
I think it would be spring now.
Well,
You're wrong.
Depends on when they can start. I think Nathan's wanting to start as quick as possible. We'd like to get the sod down in December.
Well, I know, I understand the side side. I don't know how the plants survive this time, during winter time. Do we plant them during the winter?
I don't know, that'd be an eight.
That'd be whoever gets the bid. All right, we have 3 quotes there for the landscaping at the theater pavilion area. What's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we accept Edders at the lowest bid. I'm not looking at this.
$10,820.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Nyla seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You close,
Yes,
how
sir.
much money did you get tonight?
He's not done it.
He's not even done, is he?
No, it's not done.
The last thing I had was also in the chief's report. He had asked for approval for, let me find the report here.
Catering.
$3,840.26. No, that's wrong. That's
3,400.
34.
that's his radios.
The, Great Escape Catering.
Great Escape Catering from the fire department.
30.
$34, $33, and 32 cents for the Great Escape to cater to the fire department Christmas dinner.
Okay, have a request here, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve this for the fire department.
That's in their account, isn't it?
I need to talk with John Michael. Most of the time in the past, they take this out of the donations account, right, Miss Diane?
Can't remember on their Christmas dinner if they did or not.
Okay, I was thinking last year, they did the Christmas dinner out of the donations account and maybe asked for approval. You might have some hoodies or something for Christmas that pay for out of their budget.
That sounds right.
I'll second it for discussion, Mayor.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Now, do we have any discussion? Here none, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
That is all that I have unless anybody has questions.
Drew, I would like to pursue what we talked about earlier, just seeing what options that Brad had mentioned, and, you know, local veterinarian services.
Yes.
See if there's any
But
options.
it used to be, years ago, I remember someone coming to Cleveland High School or Cleveland Middle School or something, they had like a clinic once or twice a year. I was thinking it was free. I don't know who the company was that used to do it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Before we move on, Jerry, do you need to The rest of the council, for anything?
No, sir. Jack is here to observe government and pursuit of his citizenship merit badge.
Scouting. You not wrestling tonight?
Not tonight.
Not tonight, okay.
He's got to come up and speak for 3 minutes, man.
I bet he could.
Yeah. All right. There, you're up, bud. Chief of Police report.
Thank you guys for your time. I know it's been a long meeting, so I'll try not to take up too much of your time. Just some of the numbers for October. Total summonses for the month of October were 76. We had 76 total summonses, 38 of those were criminal cases. We had 25 total arrests, 19 misdemeanor, 6 felony. Responded to 10 motor vehicle crashes, 3 DUI arrests, 19 assist motorist calls, and responded to 626 total calls for service, which is not bad considering that not much goes on, I guess.
So you'd be getting busier. It's the holidays ago, won't you?
Yeah. We had total mileage of patrol mileage of 12,163. We did participate in a few community policing events. Obviously, we had we assisted with some of the Feeding Southwest Virginia programs to help with that. Helped with the tractor and car show, the hunting on Main, open houses throughout the schools. I was able to give 6 total speeches to area high schools on career day and career paths and law enforcement, things like that. So, coached through the community policing events we took care of. I also attached the monthly drug task force report, and you can see on there that there was 2 successful purchases. And you can also see on there there's a total of 102 indictments and warrants taken up. Of course, that's all of the task force combined, not just the town of Lebanon, but some of those are town of Lebanon. So they're off and running, doing pretty good. I would like to let you know that Matt participated in a solo officer rapid deployment training in Virginia Beach, which we were able to get completely funded by the state police, which is a benefit for our officers because now he can come back and teach that to our officers, and that's related to if an officer responds to like a critical incident by himself, herself, they're able to respond to it. So it's kind of it was a unique training opportunity that we were able to pay for, so we were very lucky to get that.
So the train the trainer opportunity, great.
So anyway, that was just a monthly report. On your packet, I did include, and I know this is kind of it's kind of all coming to at one time with a bunch of grants and stuff, but if you'll think back in 2022, we started working on USDA grant. That USDA Rural Development Grant has finally got approval to purchase, wherever we can make that happen. But the grant that I gave you with the approval that we got, it's similar to the ones we had before. The last purchase of patrol vehicles was in 2021. This is the exact same grant we used to purchase those vehicles. And again, like I say, I know it's all coming, looks like they're all coming due at one time, but we started this on May 23rd of 2022 to be exact, was when we started it. But there were some issues with the EVA website and EVA contracts and stuff that just now got for rent. I did get approval from USDA to order 2 2025 Dodge Rango Pursuit police vehicles. With the senior packet there, that is a total grant of $83,690, which the county will be responsible for a total of $34,000. So basically, it's the commonly referred to as a buy one get one. But it's actually less than that with these vehicles. The town will be responsible for $34,000 of that $84,000. And the way we did it last year, this is the way that they approved the grant for me, was if we do that, if we were to go forward with this, we do that grant, that our portion in a loan, rather than just a payment. And then, of course, that loan could be paid back upon after the first payment. But we were told by the grant coordinators that doing the loan put us at the top of the grant list if we didn't do it through the loan, that we would be shuffled to the bottom. So it's the same as the way we did before. Those vehicles, obviously, you'll see that I would like to go to the Dodge Durango rather than the Explorers that we have, for a few reasons. The main reason being it's about $4,000 cheaper to go with the Durangos than the Explorers. But the second being, the Durango seems to be lasting better for other agencies that are having them. They don't seem to be having some of the same issues we're having. Also, and on a smaller scale, but an important scale to mention is all of the guys and gals that work here would rather have a Durango. So that's kind of all it is on state contract, on a state bid, so we don't have any problems with procurement, association. And they're much easier to get. If we are to go with these, we can have them delivered within 120 days after we place the order, whereas it's becoming increasingly difficult to find Ford utility vehicles for some reason.
Do we have an ETA on, or do we have a quote on Ford Explorers, Chief?
On the Ford Explorers, no, I did not. These were the vehicles that the USDA approved for the purchase, so I didn't get the quotes on these.
Well, they ought to be on state bid.
They are, I'm sure they are. When I was going through all of them through there, I know the total price difference was about $4,000 on those. But they wanted the USDA grant people, they wanted a vehicle and they wanted us to give specifics before they would approve anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just hoping we could go with the Durangos, so that was the numbers I got for.
So, let me ask you this, is the sedans, I mean, are they obsolete, done? I mean, are we still able to get sedans in the $30,000 range versus the SUVs that seems like, I remember before, Mayor, when I first come on the council, we used to purchase one, but we almost got enough grant money to buy two additional.
Yeah.
So is that because is that not an option anymore because we've moved to the SUV and they're more expensive?
No, I'm not sure how those grants particularly work. This particular grant doesn't specify any vehicle, it's just they wanted a vehicle before they were approving any numbers. They no longer make the Tarsus that we have on our fleet now. When I checked the Virginia Sheriff's Association website, utility vehicles, SUVs, and trucks is what I find.
Yeah. There's like everybody's going with them.
Yeah, I know as far as the two cars that we have, they don't make them.
Yeah.
So the sheriff's vehicles are Dodges.
They have Dodges and Explorers. Mainly they have Dodges. The Dodge Durango.
Sedan is what I'm talking about.
No, those are, the cars that you see the sheriff's office driving are Impalas. But they are not police vehicles. They are civilian-related Impalas that are bought strictly for SRO service. They're not police vehicles. And they get those through the enterprise service.
So road deputies are in SUVs?
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes. Road deputies have the Durangos and the Explorers. And like I say, everybody, I did some research with the different agencies, and it just seemed like everybody was having the same problem with the Explorers that we're having. The Durangos just seemed to hold up there.
What are the problems?
Well, I probably would have to refer to a mechanic more than me. Me and Mr. Kelly have talked about it a lot. Torture murder, I think, are main issues, stuff like that. Yeah.
On the Explorer?
Yeah.
Are you good with mixing and matching, Mayor, on the fleet? Because didn't you have a concern about that before? Are you good with?
Well, I think I'm good if we need to mix and match, if it's based on the maintenance and upkeep of vehicles.
And they're gonna be black and wrapped?
They're gonna be black and marked, just like the black.
Okay.
And if you've not seen the Durangos, they are a very good looking, bulky, beefy looking vehicle. They look good, they look really good.
So are we having trouble out of our new Explorers with torque converters?
Not the newer ones, no. The ones we have.
One is,
Yeah, okay.
Is it under warranty? Because
So the last ones we ordered were in 2021.
right.
I think the last one, one of them we just took to get the transmission fixed and stuff, is a 16.
Yeah.
One of the issues that Mopar has with their vehicles is the charging system. And when those batteries get low, they're done. I'm not just a battery, but you can't do nothing in it. That's like putting a boost pack out here on one, you can forget it. I know just from my experience with the sheriff's office, they've had a lot of those towed to Chrysler dealers over electrical issues with low voltage, and that comes from all the wiring and the radios and all that stuff. But that tends to be a common problem I see with not just Durangos, but the actual chargers as well. My preference would be to stick with the same in the fleet, but I'm one of 6. So that would be an option for something that the council need to take up on how we want to move forward.
Is there a time frame on this, when you say, as far as the grant?
I know they're pressing. They've called several times, what we're doing, where we're at on it. Like I say, they've worked with us since 2022 on it. I mean, I don't think it's something like, we don't make a decision tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, they could wait till the second.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we're pressed to make a decision tonight.
Okay.
Let's make a decision tonight.
Well, go ahead.
Because it seems like to me, I mean, we could go ahead and approve the rural development grant and with the loan match of $34,000 from town, but the only question is which vehicle, right?
Well, we only have quotes for Durango.
See, that's what I'm
Can
saying.
you get us quotes for 25 Explorers by next meeting?
Yes, I can get that by tomorrow.
Okay.
I can tell you right off the bat that it's the total amount was $4,000 difference. So it's $2,000 per vehicle.
So what if we approve up to
38?
Yeah, yeah, up to $4,000 over what he's asking for, and then that'd be an issue. That way we cover both Durango or Explorer.
Is the,
What about the
around
availability?
$84,000, is that good for no matter what vehicle you get?
Yes, so according to the grant, we have to spend $84,000. We have to spend $84,000. And then anything over that we spend, they're only going to give us $54,000. Does that make sense?
So if we spend 84,000, we're still getting 50 of that back.
Yes, so we have to spend at minimum $84,000. And they're going to give us $54,000. If we spend $86,000, then is it a matter of do we want to pay $34,000 or do we want to pay $36,000?
Gotcha.
So the other 4,000 out of pocket.
We make up the difference, yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
No problem.
All right, then what's your pleasure here?
I'm good with either vehicle.
Is that the question? The vehicle?
Yes. The question is, do we want to go with what the chief recommends or what Elijah recommends?
Well, I don't recommend it, I'm just
That's
saying
the question.
my opinion. I mean, I'm fine with going with what the chief recommends, I'm partial to having the same fleet as a bunch of mixed up vehicles. But if the chief recommends and he wants Durangos, then I'm fine with going with the same recommendation the chief has.
Are these one of those things, chief, that we talked about that helps increase the morale of our department if we go with a vehicle that you've told the department?
Yes,
That little stuff like that would mean a lot to the department.
It is, sir, and I'm glad you brought that up because, we do preach retention a lot and everything, and morale is huge on that. And I think stuff, obviously, getting things like that, and when you go to the guys and I went to them, I say, hey, which vehicles do you like better? And it's a overwhelming majority. I like the Durangos, and then we get Durangos, it makes them feel good. It does make them like we listen to them, and it does help with morale and retention. I mean, and not to say that if we get 2 Durangos, we're going to lose them in rosters, I'm just saying, but it does.
No, you said it. You said it.
Have we already been approved for the grant?
Yes, we're approved to order. We're approved to order with this. Now, if we change and go up, we're still approved to order. I'm not saying if we change this, we are approved to order these vehicles. If we decide to go with different vehicles, it is a matter of just contacting USDA and saying we're going to change this price.
You also may not get those vehicles in 120 days.
That's been the biggest problem I've seen with Ford is the delivery. And you can see, just like with the F-150s, we ordered those almost a year before delivery. And that's been the problem I've seen. These are, I've guaranteed, with the salesman, I've spoke with him personally at Magic City, who has the state contract deal with he said they will be in our lot within 120 to 150 days of work.
Do we have a motion on the floor?
So these are black.
They'll be black, and then once we get them in, we'll take them down to Jerry Signs and have the exact marking put on that's on the exclusion.
Okay, and we're gonna have light bars on these on top. It's gonna look good.
Well, we can go either way. We can go light bar or visor lights. Now, the reason I went away from the light bar visor lights was to save money, because the interior visor lights were a lot cheaper. I was, did that in essence to save money, but,
I just wanna make sure.
I can put a light bar on.
Even with our Ford trucks, and obviously I don't think those need a light bar, but I wanna make sure that our fleet is noticed. Because just like Mr. Williams said, if that F-150 goes up the road, it don't catch his eye, but when that police cruiser goes up the road with police on the side of it, they know. And it's
Well, hopefully, but I also feel like they've been that.
Well, maybe so. I understand. But it's important, even in my neighborhood, truthfully, and I know I probably don't spread this word to you or the department, but when I see those guys out there, I always tell them, hey, I really appreciate you all cruising through. Not just driving down and turning, going back out, but actually cruising, taking their time, and I see them stop and talk to people when they're walking, and that means a lot. Even kids that are out, just like Jack. Jack's out walking around in the road, kicking a ball, and they turn their lights on and cut it back off and talk to him. It makes young people feel good. But it also gives the community a sense of comfort that we're in and out of there. It really does. So I appreciate that, but I would like to see them marked.
Well, they'll absolutely be marked. And if your guys' preference is a light bar instead of the visor lights, absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion, we move forward, Mayor, with the rural development grant and purchasing 2 new Durangos as presented.
I'll second.
Leonard beat you to it.
All third.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. What about Toys for Tots? What are y'all doing?
That was my next thing to shop with the cops, so we did get our funding situated finally, and luckily, was able to get a little bit more this year than what we had in the past. We were looking at about somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000 to $6,500 this year that we've been able to secure. So we're gonna start reaching out this week and next week on getting the kids on that. I had a little bit of a different idea. I'm still toying with it, and I like y'all's input on it.
Toying with it, I like it.
Yeah. We always do the shop with a cop, where we have the kids come in, we go to Walmart, we walk around with them and let them shop, which is great, and everyone does it, I love it. But, I again, like to have your input. I thought about maybe like a Christmas with cops, maybe instead of a shop with cops, where we get our 20 kids, get a wish list from them, we purchase the items, and then maybe have a movie night at the theater, and have Santa Claus come to the theater and deliver those toys to the kids at the theater, and have all the cops there with them, and have a Christmas with cops at the theater. And like I say, if we thought maybe that just a little different than the shop with the cop program or whatever y'all's idea on that was.
In other words, you all buy it and have it wrapped and
Exactly.
to them.
Have it wrapped, and have the department at the theater, and maybe play a Christmas movie. I've talked to a gentleman that plays Santa a lot. He's willing to come and play Santa and hand those out if we want.
Your families?
Yeah, and just have the only difference is, obviously we're gonna be asking some kids to sit still for a few hours and watch a movie as opposed to
And get there.
things like that. But just something we're toying with, maybe make it a little bit different. But obviously the shop at the cop works great too. So whatever you guys are a big part of that, and everything y'all do to help us. So.
If we can't figure out the best way to do it at the theater, we could probably do it at the rec center over here and have, we could have pizza or whatever for those kids. Hard to say what they actually get to eat at home. I don't know, but.
I know this is a great thing, and again, I probably feel a lot in thanking you guys for allowing us to do it, but every year we've done this, I've had multiple parents tell me that this is the only Christmas their kids get. And they're so thankful. I have parents that start calling me in January and asking, hey, And they'll even say this, I know I've done it for 2 years, but if you can I please get back on it, because if not, we're not gonna have it.
Is it social service that gives you the list?
No, I go to the schools personally and
Okay.
sit down with the principals and go through names and
You're
lists.
thinking 20 kids this year?
I would like to do 20, the reason I stay around that area is because that gives us in the neighborhood of about $300 to $400 a kid. You know, there's some other agencies that will take 50 and 60 kids, which I see the benefit of that because you get more kids,
Yeah.
but then we all know $100 nowadays doesn't go that far. So if we can take 20 kids for $350 as opposed to 60 kids for $100.
So, with the program that you're wanting to do, which is Christmas with the kids versus Shop with the Cop, who, are you gonna get a list from them specifically? Because I know typically they walk down and pick out, you know, what they want.
Well, if we did that, obviously what we would do is we would bring the kids' parents in and have them make a wish list for the kids. And we would take the wish list and go purchase the items as close as we could.
Yeah, you don't want to single down the school like that.
Right.
You gotta be careful.
Well, what we would do is just like we do that when we get the names and we contact them. Like right now, when I get a name of a student, I'll contact their family.
Right, they'll tell you what they.
Wish list.
They'll bring up the wish list.
And that's what I would do,
Okay.
then I would just, but, you know, again, the Christmas, or the shop at the top of Walmart works great too. So, I mean, it's really just whatever.
Eric, I'd just like to support you either way that you want to go. If you did go to the theater, I hope the council will join me in sponsoring the movie and a kids combo for every kid that you take, if that's the route that you go, as our contribution to the event, so.
We'll get the list together in the next couple of weeks and we can do the contact.
Talk to Mr. Farmer too about the movie.
And I mentioned it to him
and
before.
the calendar and all that.
Yeah, I mentioned to him before, and of course, like always, he's going to accommodate, and he's always said we do whatever we can.
I can see businesses sponsoring this event too, like the movies, et cetera.
Plus,
think
that
it's a
would be
good idea,
getting
too.
those kids into our theater, and then after we get them in there, maybe just this first time they've been, they'll be wanting to come back.
That's right.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's something different. It's not
Yeah.
the same as what everybody else is doing, and I think it's unique, and I think you
Yeah.
get, I think
Good job.
it's positive for the kids and the department.
Well, the main thing is I was thinking maybe, you know, obviously the main reason for this is to bring some joy to the kids, get them some stuff that you know, they don't, unfortunately, not as blessed as some of us. And that's the main reason. But another reason we're there is because we want that connection with kids and cops. We want them to understand that the police department's here for them and not to be afraid of them. And, you know, sometimes that gets lost when you have an entire department store and kids are running nowhere and we're just kind of standing with them while they're shopping.
Sure.
This is more of a face-to-face communication. Just a little thing.
More personal.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
But we have the money, and that's the good thing, is we have the money secured, so we're good to go.
So you don't need any.
Nope, and again, I
That's
can't,
great.
all of you guys that have donated in the past, thank you so much for it, and we couldn't have done it without you. And we were blessed this year to get a grant from Walmart that helped that, and last year, we actually were a little bit, because of donations from you guys and everybody, a little bit over what we had budgeted last year, so I just kept that in that account, left it there to add to this year, so.
Good.
You may want to get with Shane, just like the mayor said, but also as far as the movie that you're wanting to play, that way he can try to locate that thing and get it ordered. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chief.
Since we're talking, before we get along, where are we on the Thanksgiving event at the high school? I know it's part of our, as a town, we support that event. Is it online, the schedules to do we know, Diane, who's our lady, I forget her name?
Shane.
Shane, okay.
We've got flyers that came Friday, so they're, I think they're being put out to businesses and everything as of now.
Is there anything they need from us as far as
No, I think
See, like, did we get, did we hop tables or something?
We took tables out, but I think we're getting them from Cedar Ridge.
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point, sure, yeah.
Church.
Oh, okay,
Because
all right. So I just wanna make sure it's Thanksgiving time that we didn't, that we're on line doing our part.
yes, we are.
All right. Mr. Taylor?
I don't have anything, Mr. Mayor.
All right, going down to old business.
Paving schedule, man, I have a question from Drew about the paving schedule.
So for Russell Street, Mill Street, and Brummel Circle, he's not gonna be in town either Friday or Monday to start that work.
And we heard back from Lonzo.
Yes, yeah, he agreed to the prices. He's good to go.
What was that question?
So we agreed to get
You get paid in advance.
up front, leave a gap.
Lonzo. I'm sorry if I'm hearing here, it's kind of been affected a little bit. Tell me one more time, did you talk to Mr. Lester?
Yes, talked to Mr. Lester, he agreed on his share of the work.
And he's getting us 10 radios.
Wasn't affected that way,
As soon as you get that daggone bill,
We get that right.
as soon as that baby's paid, Drew,
Yes, sir.
take that bill right on out there.
Tell Ms. Dew, whatever.
Mayor, I wasn't here for edit for the business, but I did have two other items I'd like to ask Drew about, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
There's housing meetings with the planning district going on right now, there's some programs coming, a little bit different than we've had before, with the town, but I'd like to pursue you or Shay maybe to start attending some of those meetings about, working about getting some planning grants for housing projects within the town. And then also I understand that Feeding America is now taking sign-ups for food distributions in the next year. And I would like just to check on that too, to see if the town is eligible and what it would take to be possibly a co-sponsor of additional food distribution in the town of Lebanon.
Also, Drew, do you mind to get an update since we're talking about housing, on the housing project there across from O'Reilly's?
Yeah, I was actually trying to get up with Keith last week when we were doing a strike out at the fire department, to get some cars moved, so I couldn't get up with him, but that was another question I had. Yeah, I'll definitely follow up with that.
Thank you, Mayor.
What day is the Thanksgiving?
It's Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
It's the actual day.
Would we have any way to take our van around town, maybe assist residents that are unable to drive, say, Fox Meadows or other?
They deliver.
They deliver.
They deliver.
They take the list and we deliver.
Yeah.
Shane is actually going to be distributing those to some of our low to moderate income housing, so that way they can call in or be able to get on the list to get those delivered, Brad.
I've been out a few times at delivery, that's,
So make sure we're doing our part.
I think Shane did say something that they probably had more people they needed to actually serve out there last year. They need delivery, for community, they need help with delivery more than they
Bring
do.
boxes.
Yeah, more than serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and boxes, that's right.
Bring boxes.
Wonder if we could get with Walmart on boxes. You know, Sam's
Food
Club.
City did those banana boxes and they were real convenient before.
Sure did. And I'm gonna bet Cheyenne and make some contacts on that. So that'd be worth a call out to either one of them. I'll tell you who else donated boxes was our Dominion right here,
Paper boxes.
the paper boxes, yeah. All right, as we're looking forward, just throw this out for not discussion, just that I want, as mayor, I want us to talk about as we get into the new year after the holidays. I'm interested, we're back to looking at downtown again and looking at some of our businesses. You know, we had a pretty good run there for a while. Now, to me, as you all know, appears that we're beginning to have some emptier buildings. I'm interested in maybe us as a governing body, involving the Small Business Administration, but I'd like for us to appoint an advisory board for the purposes of improving downtown business. Sometime in January, February, a working group of business people who are in this every day, involve the SBA people with the possibility of how their funding works. We know there's grant applications through the IDA and the USDA. And at some point, I just want us to think about this, and let's be prepared to talk about it in January at some time, okay?
So when we do reappointments, Mayor, you want to
Create that
initiate?
I would like as mayor to appoint an advisory committee.
Okay.
And you all come up with some folks that you think would be good on the
You add
board.
that to that reappointment agenda, Drew, for Ms. Diane?
Kevin, reappoint, since we brought that up, reappointment, I mean, the reorganizational meeting, we've always held the first of January. Is that correct?
Yeah, near the first of January.
Because we have no government until we reorganize. Dan, do you remember historically, do we meet on the first?
No.
When did we
In
meet?
'22, we met, January the 3rd. Because the first was on Sunday, so the town got
Monday
this
off.
Monday off, so we had it on the 3rd.
All right, this year it's on a Wednesday.
Right, so
January
we will
1st.
be, working the 2nd, so we can have it the 2nd.
Second.
Yes.
Let's remember that, kind of help me remember that, Diane, at the December meeting,
Okay.
to make sure that we set that reorganization meeting for the 2nd of January.
We said it tonight.
Good, if you want to.
Everyone have to remember.
But you'll have to remind us. But we'll go ahead and set it.
9 a.m. again, Mayor?
That's what we normally do, yeah.
Just a reminder, the re-elected council members will need to go to the clerk's office and be sworn in.
We're doing that at the, we're gonna be doing that at, Katie's coming out at the council meeting on December
Okay.
to swear in all myself and the 4 council members that afternoon. That's the
What
day,
day did we just make it?
January.
the reorganization meeting,
No,
January
what day
2nd.
did we make the December meeting?
2nd.
The 2nd.
Second.
Monday the 2nd.
Second.
You call it? You got 2 seconds, you got December 2nd, January 2nd.
And then
All right.
regular time on the 2nd?
Which second?
December 2nd.
No.
No, we're having lunch.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So she's coming out
At
around 1?
One-ish,
I'm back.
Okay. Okey doke.
I'm back.
All right. We're down to old business. Do we need to take a break here?
No.
Does anybody need a break? Okay. Down to old business, the lighting project, RFPs. Where are we on that? Who's,
I didn't have anything.
he didn't tell me that. He wouldn't listen to it.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the lighting upgrade project. At least open this up for discussion. But moving forward with Woodward, their Musco package, in the total amount of $414,875. With hopefully a second and then discussion.
I'll second.
Drew, I'd like to see, I know I talked to you a little bit about before, but I'd like to see if we could break this down into at least two segments and get the,
2 fiscal years?
yeah, at least get the ball field taken care of ASAP. And then maybe the next fiscal year, our pickleball courts will be finished. And then we can get that taken care of in July. So you'd be doing the town park and the ball field at one time.
You lost me, you lost me.
What was the breakdown
What was the
on
deal about the pickleball?
the ball field was 240 grand, so that's,
Yeah.
that's, roughly half.
Yeah.
That was, I think that's a good suggestion. I've looked at the year-to-date, finances on the, actual expenditures versus the budget. And under the Parks and Rec and the theater, we are slightly under budget, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it.
That's good to hear.
And so I agree that I'd like to move forward with the ball field lights as soon as we can get it done project. Brad, my suggestion would be to also include any trenching or any of the, boring under the sidewalks and stuff, even in the town park, to go ahead and get all that, whatever that takes to go ahead and get all that done at once. So all that can be accomplished and the grass growing back by the springtime versus, them coming back and, tearing up the ground again before July 1st. Now, I don't know if that's an option or not, but I'd like to prove, I'm a yes on the project, if we can break it down into 2 fiscal years. Whatever that may be that Drew can work out with Musco and the ball fields, party on that, getting it done by opening day of next spring for the town park.
So we're gonna spread this over 2 budget years, is that the plan?
Well, you're just talking a 3-month gap.
Okay,
I mean, if they finish in
Yeah.
April.
okay.
If they finish in April for baseball, you're July 1-ish doing the rest.
Drew, get with,
And Drew, he may work with us and do all the work at once with the final drawdown on July 1st. I don't know. That's something that you could work out
That'd be
with.
awesome if you would.
that's what I was gonna say, Drew, I would get with Woodward and just see, I'm not really sure they're gonna wanna pull all their equipment out for 60 or 90 days and bring it all back in,
Yeah.
and it's all sitting here,
Do you
so.
think they could stub out, Brad, everything that needs to be done as far as the groundwork, earthwork that needs to be done?
I do.
And Drew, you even talked about some of the cost-cutting measures that may be able to, we work with them on purchasing the actual material ourselves to save on the taxes. Any of the labor that we could supply, you made a couple of good suggestions in your presentation, and that may help us get over the hump as far as, making that final payment July 1st.
I think we could cut that number down.
I was going to say, since the lighting's kind of already there at the track, we don't want them taking that down until they're ready to
Until
go
it's
up.
Yeah.
Would you be open to just doing the ball fields this fiscal year? And then
That's
combine-
so I would like to do the ball field,
Mhm.
which would be 246,
All right.
and then flip it
And
over. The rest
170
would be 174,
in the
275
other fiscal year.
in the,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
And I mean, really, they may just do it
They may.
at all, and then say,
Kind of how
hey,
AEP did here.
yeah, hook me up 3 months later. I mean, worth a shot.
You think could they finish both those by June 30th? That's gonna be a push anyway, isn't it, Drew?
The majority of their work is going to be, I think, time work anyway. It's going to be the trenching and installing conduit and all that. Once they're ready to go, the installing of the
So they can meet the
digging footers and
deadline.
all their prep work is going to be the time. Once they're ready to install, I
I
think.
don't think it,
For opening day, they'll be
I don't
good.
think it'll take them too long, unless they hit tremendous rock. I wouldn't think it's there, but.
Well, for that kind of money, they may split the bills up, old buddy.
Yeah,
They've done it before.
Got a motion.
And that may be a mayor
4
time.
years to do it.
I mean, that may be one of those situations where we can actually pay them up front and then every quarter. You know what I mean?
We Okay.
That would split up.
They'll work with us.
I think they will, I do too. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay.
I do have a question though.
Too late.
You were talking about taxes. don't understand why us being a municipality would be tax exempt.
That's what I'm talking about, this price is them buying the materials. We buy. the
Turnkey
materials.
job.
Let us find the material.
And we can say, because they're putting, the taxes they're paying, they're putting off on us.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense if we've got a W-9, which is a tax exempt form for being a municipality. When I do work for the government, I purchase all the materials and it's tax exempt.
Every job Keith said he's done for us, he's had to pay taxes on his material.
Yeah.
Unless we supply it and just do labor. Turnkey jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Every job I've done for the state.
And we can help save ourselves some money.
It's all that on insurance or something? Claims,
We're tax exempt. We don't pay taxes on tax exempt. If we have a W-9 from that facility, we don't pay tax on it. Because when we do estimates, they won't accept an estimate with tax on it. So I'm sure not gonna pay the tax. That's that's silly. But I have a W-9 tax exemption also. I don't know if maybe people just don't apply for that. Seems odd. But yes, if we can save on the tax, we don't need to be paying tax.
Okay, we're gonna need to go into closed session, gang, under personnel.
Legal.
And legal.
I'll make the motion, we go, in closed session for section 2.2, 3711A, for the purpose of personnel and legal.
I'll second.
Anything else, Kevin?
No, I know.
Okay. Have a motion second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are now in closed session.
What do you think, Jack?